Last week, Dark Communications, which hosts AIT, Raypower and Faji FM, was shut down by the National Broadcasting Commission for breaching sections of its broadcasting code. Though the court has ordered the NBC to reopen Dark Communications, this matter has raised a lot of issues, and people are going on to ask who is right, who is wrong, and is this politically motivated? That's forming the topic of our discussion right here on Root Cause. And to have this conversation right here in the studio, I have with me, starting from my extreme right, Emmanuel Ohumahai. He is a journalist and the MD of Cinema Communications. Now, what is interesting about him is that he has worked with Dark Communications for 20 years. Welcome and thanks for being here on the show.
Thank you very much, Gloria.
And of course, we have Martin Zagba, who is our legal counsel, if I have to say that right here on the show. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you, Gloria.
All right. So, Emmanuel, we believe you have an insider information on what's going on, considering that you are close to AIT, having worked there for 20 years. Please, what exactly happened from their own point of view?
Okay, from their own point of view, it's the Central Bank, no, the National Broadcasting Commission had written AIT within last week. I know that they got like 6 letters from the National Broadcasting Commission, and they telling them about different infractions that they had committed. And in one of them, they talked about the program called Kakaki Social, or a segment of a program. Or the name of the program is Kakaki, and the segment is called Kakaki Social, which is a new segment, which was a segment intended to bridge the gap between the public and those who give out content. In other words, let's hear from the other side.
Which is social media.
Social media. Mm-hmm. And then the other program was Political Platform. Political Platform has been on for over 10, 15 years.
That's on Raypower, the radio version.
Radio, yeah. That's radio. Mm-hmm. Then there was the issue of the documentary. There were 2 documentaries that were aired on the AIT platform. There was one on the Pukachua, that's the chairman of the president of the Court of Appeal, which
recused herself.
Yeah, which recused herself from the case, the presidential. Yes. There was a documentary on the court case itself. As an introductory, that's where
all of this basically started.
Where it started from.
Yeah.
And so that's basically.
Well, let's bring you in, Martin Zabwa. I mean, you are a lawyer, and what a lot of people have been asking is, was NBC within its rights to go ahead and suspend the license of AIT, Raypower, Faji FM? Let's just call it, a lot of people are calling it a shutdown. Did they have the right to shut down this broadcast media?
Yes. Gloria, by law, the National Broadcasting Commission has the right. It's a statutory right they have to sanction any airing media house which is in breach of the broadcasting code. It is very clear. Section 38 of the law that empowers it, section 13 of the law that sets up the NBC empowers it to sanction media houses for any infraction it feels is against national interest. But The question is this. A lot of people have made a lot of noise about the issue of AIT. Yes. Well, we look at it from different angles. People say it's stifling the media. A lot of reasons have been given for that. But one cannot take away the fact that the NBC has a right to do what it has done. The question now is, to what extent do you exercise these rights? You know, a lot of comments have been flying around, but my take is this: you don't use a sledgehammer to kill a fly. You know, the law that says you have the power, the rights to sanction every media houses says before such powers are exercised, there must be classes of offenses.
Okay, here, let me bring this in because I took my time to study the NBC statement, which of course they used, or they say is their defense or their reason for shutting down AIT and Raypower and of course Faji FM. According to them, they have been writing and sending letters to the AIT dating back to June 2017, over June 2017, August the same year, next year, February 2018, October 2018. So according to them, this is not something that just started a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago.
Sorry, Gloria. Every station receives letters from NBC
on the regular,
from time to time, on different things, because they monitor stations. Now, I decided to give the background because I didn't want to do any analysis initially. But let's get to the analysis. NBC says, let's start with Political Platform. Political Platform is a program that's been on radio for more than 20 years. And NBC has sanctioned Raypower for this program. I'm aware of that. Over different issues. And usually it's from what is said. Because what is Political Platform about? It's a program
where people talk about their political opinions about everything.
And it's highly opinionated, whether on the right side or on the left side. But they always bring both sides of the coin. And then NBC hears something and NBC comes out and says, no, you are sanctioned for this. Or they read a letter where a listener is criticizing the government or criticizing something that the government has done. And you sanction, say you shouldn't have read that letter.
Okay, here's one of the things that the NBC says. In fact, according to the statement that I read from them, they said a lot of the content coming from Dow Communications, that's AIT, Raypower, and of course Faji FM, they're inflammatory, divisive, and inciting. These were the three words they kept using. And of course, these were capable of generating a lot of problems in the country. And of course, according to their code, they are required to regulate that. Now, one of the things that actually they held on to, which led to this clampdown, is Kakaki Social, which you brought up earlier. And they said, I think they were trying to talk about the treatment of the content, that it was too straight, it was not paraphrased. Obviously, some of the words or some of the sentences were taken straight out of social media and broadcast, and probably they found those things, according to them, as media propaganda. So when you put that out there, some people may wonder, were they trying to protect the stability of the country? Because AIT is like the second largest media broadcaster network in Nigeria. That's only second to the the national broadcaster. So they get to everywhere. And a lot of people will think, okay, maybe they should be regulated as much so that they do not, I don't know, maybe incite.
Yes, you have raised a lot of issues.
Yes.
Like Martins has said, the NBC is within its rights,
of course,
to sanction. Exactly. But to what extent?
But you think this was too much?
This was too much.
It has been said to be politically motivated. Raymond Dokbesi, the chairman of, as you said, chairman emeritus of Dow Communications, has constantly said this administration is targeting him. And the shutdown of Dow Communications was really a ruse, but it was him that has been targeted. Do you share the same sentiment?
Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that if you look at the sequence of events, this is happening at the time the chairman emeritus of AIT is on trial for alleged criminal offense, money laundering and co. And at the same time, his media business is being harassed. So one might look at
and
it.
he's also a strong member of the
opposition. So you might look at it comfortably from that angle. That
it's too coincidental.
Yeah, it's too close to each other to be mere work being done in the normal way. You know, well, that's why I said yes and no. No, in the sense that NBC has a right to sanction any area media house. You know, so, but just like my friend said, it's not a matter of just exercising your power. To what extent? You made mention of the NBC saying the actions of AIT inflammatory and divisive. You know, you don't look at things only from your own perspective. It's unfortunate that here national interest is looked at from the point of the government. National interest supersedes the current government of power. National interest should be national interest.
Now, AIT, of course, Dark Communications went to court to get an ex parte order to get an interim injunction stopping NBC from shutting it down in general. And of course, we know that the court has, maintained status quo till June 13. What do you see happening here?
A lot of things. They'll be in court, I think that's tomorrow.
June 13.
For the motion on
no, 13, that's
13, June 13.
13, sorry.
Yes.
13. They'll be back at the Federal High Court for the motion on notice. Of course, the parties are all on notice now. They will come to court. The difference between the order they got is that it was ex parte. It lasts for 7 days.
Exactly.
Unless it is vacated for the court. So when they go back to the court on Thursday, the matter will be heard on its merit. The defendants will be in court. The counter affidavits they might have filed will be heard by the court, and then the motion itself will be moved, by AIT's counsel. At the end of the day, what the court will need to do is look at the facts as deposed by both parties. If the court feels, well, AIT is right, we need to maintain the status quo till the end of the suit, the court will grant the interlocutory application, and that means the order for maintenance of the status quo will subsist
until
the
case
end
ends
of the matter. The matter is fully determined on this merit. So that is what will happen on Thursday. I don't know. Justice Eko may, depending on the court, she may give a bench ruling that same day. She may as well get the matter adjourned for her to give her ruling. So these
are all the things that are playing out. Now, the international media is reporting this as, I'll give you a typical example. Al Jazeera is reporting it that Nigeria is clamping down on private opposition media or private opposition broadcasters. Do you think that this is the way the world is seeing it? Obviously. Does that really represent what is going on? Is this really a clamp down on free speech, as some people have argued, or is this just a little disagreement, as some people, especially from the government, has seen it, and it really isn't that weighty as the international media is putting it out there?
The truth about it is that I was going to say, even before you asked that question, that this is not just about AIT or Dark Communication. It's about every media. The Director General of NBC is a card-carrying member of the government of the day, the party of the government of the day, APC. He contested for governorship. Now people are also asking what moral justification he has to do what he's doing. He's facing corruption charges. Currently.
This is a conversation that we believe will continue because it talks and touches the media, and anything that touches the media basically touches every aspect of Nigeria as it is. Well, we will continue to follow this, and we would like to have your comment on what is going on, the NBC-AIT tussle or NBC Dark Communications tussle. What do you expect that the court is going to rule on, and how do you think this is going to end? Are they political undertones? Please go ahead and talk to us on the comment section of this video. A big thank you to you, Emmanuel Ohumahai, for taking our time to talk to us. And of course, Martin Abwa, thank you so much for talking to us.
So
and of course, you have been watching Root Cause right here on Rootstv Nigeria.